was your original face? The one you had before you were born? Before your parents were born? What was your original face?
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator. If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
Her life was marked by beads. She couldn't remember the number, only her place. She became so fast with her beads and her prayers that when she died, she didn't even know it.
She felt a sudden pull at her ear. Ah, old poetry.
There was this man who made movies for a living. Each day at 6:10, he went to work. He'd come home at night around 8:30, give or take an hour. During the time between then and when he would finally fall asleep, he would fill himself up with whatever he needed to continue making movies. He'd listen to music, read, think, go for a walk. When he slept, he would dream that he was back at the studio running around the set cutting actors' throats with a long, sharp razor. Sometimes, just before he would wake up, he would have this dream about 3 shiny black top hats that would tell him jokes and stories that he liked a lot, but he could never remember when he woke up.
Whenever he'd go out to restaurants to eat, he'd scrape
She
all the
felt
stuff
a
off
sudden
the
pull
bag.
at her ear.
Go out with friends.
Ah, old poetry.
Someone said to someone else, I believe in magic. And then Someone said to someone else, I believe in magic. Someone said, someone else, I believe in magic.
Someone else did not answer someone's question, but proceeded on a course of action which could leave no doubt in someone's mind that someone else did not believe in magic. Much later, after someone had died, and someone else saw someone walking, someone else asked why.
I had, to the best of my knowledge, driven out all the ghosts, except for the small ones. They are always being refreshed. "56 years ago, I had my hand removed in the service of my king, God, queen, country. 56 years later, it comes back, slapping me in my face. Ow. There is a tear in the fabric and an invisible seam. There is design and designers falling neatly in order into their graves, forming my mouth into words I would want, love, desire, wish not to speak. I don't know what I want from you. Every act is a need, not so easily defined. I don't know what I want from you, but I know I would love, not to want. Wish, love, want, wish, desire, want, desire, love. Let's say, wish, want. Let's say we want to live quietly. 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 We want to live quietly.
It was a green drain palm, a loosening levitation of closed, cold fingers. The miraculous waters appeared. The shade of suggestion made small enough to steal out every pore. Me, undertaken from the inside, suddenly transubstantiated, encased, yet spasmodic, gestures against glass, the flattening physiognomy as I kiss myself farewell. A life without expectation, yet unsheltered from singular surprise. A vast circular abeyance, kaleidoscopic shards of brightly changing moments. The melancholic freedom between appointments. There are those who love me. They do not know where I am. Fascination enslaves me to you. Mercy is a shape and a name. It has been possible to tread this long, recognizing recognition, remembering in placement of all others, future and past, as a door adjoining them, with crack and light, made intermittent by movement on the other side.
on Sister Alice made more and
Knock, knock. And I'm sleeping.
here still
Knock, knock. Again. I guess I'm gonna have to get up and answer the door. Knock, knock. All right. Who's there? Knock, knock. Who's there says, let me in, because I'm the ocean.
On the day the planet was destroyed, my father took me outside to see it. and all the neighbors were lined up on the walks, and our neighbor stood in front of his little patch of overgrown grass on which dozens of dandelions popped their heads, blowing white parachutes into the air that was fast thinning. The force that would destroy the planet was an immensely large, dark, black ball. So large and so dark that if you were even to lift your hand toward it, the large black ball would melt your hand right off your body. I bent down to pick a dandelion off the neighbor's little tangled patch of green and looked up to find my father and my neighbor both staring at me expectantly. After all, the dandelion had come from my neighbor's side of the property. "What do you say?" my dad asked me in my last few moments of life. "What do you say?" "What do you say?" my dad asked me in my last few moments of life. "What do you say?" "What do you say?" my dad asked me in my last few moments of life. "What do you say?"
I'm gonna tell you a story of a wicked little girl who perhaps wasn't intended by God to be a true believer. Instead of receiving and accepting the sacred host of Jesus from the hand of the priest as the other little boys and girls, this little girl would mock the mystery of our church, chewing the Holy Communion as if it were a common cracker. In fact, one day, when this wicked little girl received the sacred host, she didn't chew or swallow it, but secreted it from her mouth and hid it in her little patent leather purse. As time went on, this little girl grew up to be the lowest sort of woman. But she kept that defiled sacrilege she had stolen, hidden in a little box she never lost throughout her reckless life. Finally, she had entered the deepest woods her soul could bear, and in a drunken terror, the depravity of this harlot's life became self-evident in a slithering serpent, and she ran to this box, which she laughingly called her box of hope. In her diseased mind, she thought that by accepting and receiving the body of Christ, she would be saved. As she placed the sacrament in her mouth, she bit into the sacred wafer. And do you know, boys and girls, it started to bleed. It left the stains of Jesus' blood on her lips and on her fingers.
There was this really fortunate guy. He was smart, strong, and healthy, full of virtues. Everything he did turned out well. In everyone he met, he found something to give him pleasure. While he was blessed at birth, he was also extremely lucky, so that whenever his native skills and abilities failed him, which was most infrequently, luck would more than see him through. He had several meaningful and mutually satisfactory relationships in his long and prosperous life. The trials and tribulations in his life were undertaken willingly for the benefit of others or for his own pleasure. His results were as good as anyone could do. He died quietly in his sleep while having a pleasant dream about different colored monkeys bringing him little gifts in brightly wrapped packages. He found beauty in people, places, and things where everyone else found none.
This crazy white man looked around in this brand new land he thought he found. And everywhere he looked, he saw buffalo. He really hated buffalo. So he set all his horses and all his men to go kill all the buffalo. The sudden thrust of flight, a flurry of wings, of a bird in a room. It's my imaginary Irish grandmother. My imaginary Irish grandmother enters the room, speaking German. The sudden thrust of flight and a flurry of wings. There's a bird in the room. My imaginary Irish grandmother is taking cookies from the oven and a dead yellow canary, which she puts in her apron pocket. My imaginary Irish grandmother is sipping blackberry brandy. She's getting silly. My imaginary Irish grandmother takes the dead canary out of her pocket and holds it gently in her hand. She explains the mysteries of life to its cold frame. It comes back
years later and returns her gift. It says, there is no death. My hand always follows me in the dream.
In my dream. In my dream. In my dream.
I watch it with my eye
Over my ocean?
over the ocean.
Over my ocean? Over my ocean?
It catches my breath.
In, out, in, out, in, out.
It's all that I can hear,
In one ear and out the other.
and it's asleep on my pillow.
Wake it up. Wake it up.
The good witch is sitting high on the hill with the city below and behind, smiling contentedly, smiling benignly, smiling. She gesticulates her back with her wand. She gesticulates behind your back, directing traffic. Everyone is very satisfied. Everyone is very pleased with the good witch.
We were sitting in that weird restaurant. We just ordered cake. And I thought I could see them chopping up seed, soul, and navel pepper on top of your name. I couldn't read it, but it looked like it was in my hand. Hey, I've got a brand new penny, and I've got a purple flower. I've got a purple flower and a brand new penny. Oh, pretty me. Oh, pretty, pretty me. I look like an angel.
A somewhat hypothetical question. If you could get away with murder, would you? Let's say you had the power right at your fingertips to kill whoever you wanted. Maybe someone who's made you angry, someone you hate, someone you think deserves to die. Let's say just by thinking, you could increase the horror and the pain that they would feel. And only they would know who had caused their death. You wouldn't have to tell them why. Let's just say you had that power. Think you'd be able to use it? Watch them die because of your will. If you had the power, would you use it? Just think.
If you were so nice, you wouldn't say the good things you do. If you were so nice, if you believed that you are who you are, you would not stand up here and say those nasty words. You would not have hate in your heart. You would not say those that evil. God forbid over this realm. God forbid that shit.
As a mother, I do wonder how far this thing can go. I have 4 beautiful children, and I have to worry constantly about keeping sex out of the home. It's like it's in the air and it wants to come in through the mailbox, the television, the radio, the newspaper. A teenage boy brings me that newspaper, and I always have to rush to see what's in it before anyone gets a hold of it, because the slightest thing can leave an impression that can last a lifetime, and that knowledge puts you on edge with a vigilance that is God's trust in you. And the pressure, it's intense. It's isolating. In the nightmare I have about it, I have finally gotten my husband to agree to take us out to a nice restaurant, a family restaurant. I've just gotten the little one into his high chair, which isn't so easy to find. It isn't so easy to be accommodated when my 2 eldest are giggling, and I know they're up to something, and I know their father doesn't like that. Here we are in a public place. Well, they're looking at these 2 men. Boys, really, in a booth. And you can just tell they're homosexuals. 2 gay boys. Well, they're men, but they look younger than that. You know the way they do. Well, you can tell that they're gay because of that look, that way about them. There is no malice in my heart, mind you. I have known some gay men. Lovely people. Tragically hurt, but beautiful personalities. And I know I know these two are gay men. I don't know what the women look like. I'm certainly not interested in that. But I have loved those poor men as people. And in the dream they could be any age, but I know they are incredibly young, and they're in their own booth in the restaurant right across from mine, and the two children are giggling. What they all look like are spies, really. I mean, it's like they won't take sides. There's a streak of men and women in all of them, and you feel like they're spying on you. You don't know which they are. I'm frightened. I'm trapped. And the children know something is up. One of them is wearing sandals, and he's got one foot extended out under the table, out of the sandal. His foot is bare. He's extending it out into the crotch of the other boy, who is pressing his pelvis against it. Don't ask me how I can see it from where I'm sitting. Frozen with fear in the sniper, but I can see it. I can feel it. I can feel that boy pushing his crotch into that foot, and he leans over the table and they French kiss. Right there in the family restaurant. I know because I can see a tongue holding their mouths together in the spaces between their lips, and I wake up. I wake up to my husband snoring beside me. And what do you think I can tell him? What do you think I can tell him about that?
There's this man who keeps following you. Always he wants to show you pictures you don't want to see. You've seen them before. You know they are real, but still they unsettle you. Your only reward is they are not complete. There's this man who keeps following. This leaves you with a decision that just has to be made. There's this man who keeps following you. Always he wants to show you pictures you don't want to see. You've seen them before. You know they are real, but still they unsettle you. Your only reward is they are not complete. This leaves you with a decision that just has to be made. There's this man who keeps following you. Always he wants to show you pictures you don't want to see. You've seen them before.
black actuality of nothingness, of silence, is now held by a pauper's trembling fingers, fingers made for begging and folding prayers like linen or shuffling cards like fate. I repeat, the candle that holds back the black actuality of nothingness, of silence, is now held by a pauper's trembling fingers, fingers made for begging and folding prayers